Well, hello, hello. Thank you guys for taking time to join us on A Sister's Trust. And today I have my good friend Michelle Cooper with me, which I'm just so encouraged. She's been helping me so much on the book that I've been working on since 1995. And I have given her this challenge to help me with this book, and she's been doing a fabulous job. I think that I picked her because I know that she's a very dedicated woman, and I know that she'll be working very hard and making sure everything is pretty much perfect. And you always tend to ask the people that you know that work the hardest and does the best and like quality in what they do to do the best jobs for you. And I'm just so encouraged by her life and just the friendship that we have and the sisterhood and being able to go to church together and everything. So right now I want to give her a chance to like just to introduce herself and you know tell us a little bit about you. So hi Michelle, how you doing?
Hi, Angie.
Thank you for joining us on A Sister's Trust. I'm just
Yes,
so
ma'am.
encouraged that you took time out in your day just to hang out with us. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Well, I want to thank you for your introduction. I thank you for this opportunity also to help with the book. Um, it's a little challenging, but I thank God for the opportunity. I'm learning a lot through the quiet times I've been reading. But anyway, so I actually am just a regular person working for a utility here in Tampa, Florida. I actually do have a background in writing, but not formal or professional writing. So this is my first time doing it. But it's been it's a challenge, but it's also quite rewarding, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity because what I'm learning just by reading the quiet times, and this is a selection of quiet times and poetry. A lot of the poems, all of the poems Angela has written herself, and they're all very spiritual and very pointed. So it's kind of like, I kind of feel like the poems should be a book unto themselves. But the quiet times are by sisters and one brother who are here in have been in the Tampa Bay church. A lot of people have moved on to other locations, and which is a blessing because of what they can provide for other people in terms of knowing God and learning about what God wants from us. And what I've been finding in writing, in reading the stories and trying to, just do the cleaning up as far as, the grammar and that sort of thing, trying to format the pages and all, is that, these are people's lives. They're sharing their lives with other people to help them. And it's very encouraging. It's a very, very inspiring set of work. And it's just the fact that people have, been open enough to say, here, Angie, here is my quiet time. I'd like to share it with you so that you can share it with the world. So I think that's amazing. I'm excited about what's going to happen. But the process is a process. It takes time. And especially if you're working all day, it takes time to get it together. So I know that for me, I kind of thought, oh, well, I can just do this and it'll be done. No, it takes time, especially when you're self-publishing. So that's the other part of it that's been interesting. But I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm learning how to be a friend to my friends. And in that, I'm learning a lot more about me. And I'm grateful, too, for that, because if you don't know where we are, how do we grow? So this has been inspiring. But the book itself, like I said, it's a collection of quiet times that women and one man have shared. And it's very encouraging. A lot of it is instructional. A lot of it's just heartfelt and warm. I'm just very impressed with with the sisters and the one brother who has that, who dedicated their time and just being open and sharing their life in this way. So it's inspiring to me. I apologize for the darkness. I think I'm fading out a little. Turn on the
That's
light.
so much better.
Okay, great.
Your beautiful face.
Oh, thanks.
Better, yes. But you know what? I'm so thankful for all the zeal that you have and just really all that dedication and time that you put with it. I mean, I felt like it's not going to be half done or, just something just really looked over. It's not thrown together. And so that's why I was encouraged. I didn't know you that you had a background in writing. I noticed that when I put together one women's group one evening, we talked about writing and you talked about how you always have a desire to do some writing.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I want to ask Michelle to help me work on this project, which has really been a journey for me because I have tons and tons of writing. I mean, this is not even the tip of the iceberg. And I know how you're saying it's been taking a lot of work with that. Could you imagine what's all in my container?
Wow.
From music, from plays, it's so many things. But I think for me, sometimes when you can create things, is you need more than just yourself to make a complete package. You might could do one element, but you might need other people to help you do another part of it. I know for me, I'm not a typist. I know what I want to say, but I might need someone else to say, okay, look at this, maybe change that, or collaborate a little bit to be able to put things to come to completion. And so this will be actually the first project that be really completed from a long time coming, just having that desire and taking that from a desire standpoint and actually making it come to a reality. That's why I asked for the help, because I felt like this project, I've always had it, but I felt like it needed to really come out of my hands and come to the next step, or I'm going to get to be 100 years old and look back and still have that same right. Nobody's going to know nothing about.
Right.
And I was encouraged with each of the women that wrote something in this book, because I watched their characters. I know who they are personally. I know who they are and what type of lifestyle they have.
Yeah.
And I know their desire and their struggles and the task they have with trying to be a disciple, to be a part of the kingdom. And just the fact that even though we're all in different parts of the world, that we still, when we come together, we have that sisterhood bond. And we have our brother. He wasn't the only brother that was asked to do something, but he was the only one that wanted to actually participate and, really have something to share, because even though most of us do our quiet times, sometimes it's just a private moment for us.
Right.
But this is, they was able to be able to articulate and give it we can share it with other people, so they can know that people can know in the world that they're not the only ones that may be struggling in these different areas of our lives.
Right.
Like you said, it's something to build us up and to help us grow. So I felt like if we can collaborate together as sisters and brothers and come it together and be able to share it with the world so that they can know that, people, these are real feelings and not just something that they have inside for themselves, but other people go through the same things. And it helps us to take that viewpoint to the next level, that we don't have to be stuck, because I feel a lot of times Satan and his schemes, he wants us to always have different ideas rolling in our minds, but never no solution, never no hope, never no the dream of that we don't have to stay in that situation. So I'm really excited about this book. I mean, I have not things are rolling around my mind, but I have not came up with a title of this book yet.
Right, no title.
I think once we can really finish putting together and sitting down, there's different ideas that's in my mind, but nothing that's really special that's really hit me yet, to be excited for what this book and what it's going to represent in the lives that it represents. I want it to be something that, that's catchy, but at the same time, people know that's going to help them to train them in their lives at the same time. So I'm just really excited. We don't have a date yet, but we just want to let you guys know that it's coming and that it's been worked on. It's out of the hands into the fire. And, Michelle is doing all the editing and doing all the extra work and just keeping me on task, making sure everything is where it needs to be. We're going to focus our next journey, right, Michelle, is on getting everything copywritten,
Yeah.
and checking out some other avenues and getting with a few other people that she has some, she was thinking about some little bit of illustration. Some people could think about that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you know,
Because it's a self-published book,
mhm,
so we do everything ourselves, and we want it to be excellent. For me, I feel like there's a lot of talent in the kingdom, and
mhm,
there's a lot of talent that we can tap into, people who really want to share. Just like the quiet times that were given, just like your poems, it shows a lot of talent, a lot of talent. It's amazing. And so even more talent can go into the actual production of the book. So we need a title for sure. And I'm sure that that will come. But in the meantime, we have what we have. So,
right, right.
yeah,
And so we take it one step at a time so that we
one
can
day
make
at a
sure
time.
those things are completed. It's going to come. So this has been a long time coming. I can say that because it's been years,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
as
because
far
some
as,
of the work,
oh,
you see it from almost 20 years ago, some of it,
yes,
the dates on them, that's amazing. But when you read through them, it's so relevant today,
right.
so it's not something that was 20 years ago, meant for 20 years ago. It's actually meant for us now.
Hmm.
And I know that it would be helpful to a whole lot of people if
Hmm.
they could, see the work, because it does, it a lot of it, just going through it and looking at, trying to revise some of the work, correct grammar, that sort of thing. You start reading through it and you're like, wow, that's inspiring, that really helps me, even today. So yeah, some of they did. Yeah, almost 20 years ago. Some of it, when you first became a disciple, that was like wow,
Right,
you know.
right,
And if
right.
more people could just write it down,
Hmm.
but if you write it down and share it, I think that it would touch so many lives in
Hmm.
a very positive way. Because the world is so negative right now. It's
Oh
just
yeah, yeah. That's
that's
true.
almost uninspiring. So this is a very inspiring piece of work.
Hmm.
Yes.
As you was talking about, just I'm thinking about the years and having something that's been written over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It makes me think about even in my life right now. I've been thinking so much of legacy. Being able to leave something behind,
Yes.
and just to really for everybody to have just a little bit of them left behind with their name and this is who they was and this is how they thought. I was
Yes.
sitting here thinking about that how important and how precious that is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could take so many things in life for granted.
We do.
We're
Yeah.
not promised tomorrow or even
No,
the rest of this day,
we're not.
but it just really helps us when we do have something that we can read and we could focus more on God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she was saying, there's so much negative things that's out there on its own that sometimes, just having something just to sit back and take that time to have a quiet time.
Mm-hmm.
We miss so much with those same 24 hours in one day that we have that we could take so much for granted.
We take a
Just
lot for
really being
granted.
grateful and thankful for what God and the time that He's really have given us.
Mm-hmm.
So Michelle, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for taking this time to be on. Thank you so much for, I mean, words really cannot express how I feel about all this hard work that you put into this. Just really helping me to bring this to a finish.
Well,
And I don't
thank
want to
you.
say finish, but helping me to, well, finish this project because I'm sure it's gonna be more projects. And Michelle like, but I know this has been a big one. And but it's gonna be a learning experience for
Mhm.
both of us to know how to
It's definitely
collaborate
that.
and put things and condense things in a different way too. Because like I said, this is our first project, and actually this is our first project together
Yeah, it
too.
is.
So we got a lot of firsts in this and our first interview on the book and just really see what's going to be at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to our next interview, maybe halfway or once everything get going when we see what people think about it.
Okay.
So this will not be Michelle's last time, guys. I just want to say that. Look at her name. Her name is Michelle Cooper, and I'm sure we're gonna be hearing so much more. And now that I know she has a background in writing, I'm sure this gonna give her an opportunity. Who knows to write something that she actually gonna be putting out also. And just remember that name, Michelle Cooper.
I
Keep
hope it's that. Well, I just can't wait till the book comes out because I know it will be. inspiring. We still do need a title.
Yes,
We do
yes, we
need a
got to work
title.
on that.
So,
Yes,
mhm.
and work on getting together too, and maybe like just reading it in the same room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things to really do, and so I just want to encourage you guys and let you guys know that we do have a quiet time series that's coming out, and it's going to be women's stories, and we have a man that's also in there who is,
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you, he is awesome. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah.
Person that really is dedicated. He's dedicated to his family, and he's totally dedicated to God. And he loves to serve. He is a servant. Every time I have seen him, he's always serving somebody. So be encouraged when you see his name. He's not just in the book. He is a servant, and he does love God very well and his family and his sisters and brothers. So I'm just so thankful to be a part of this family that God has given us. Being able to live in different cities, and when we come together, it's still family.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. So without further ado, holding you guys up longer, I just want to thank you again, Michelle, for joining us.
You're
And guys,
welcome.
thank you. And so each week, just keep in tune as we keep bringing out new things. We're gonna have Yoli from Yoli's World gonna come, and she's gonna share us a whole series of shopping because this girl can shop. Okay, so we got a lot of different things coming up. So I just want to encourage you guys to stay in tune and thank you for joining us on A Sister's Trust. Have a good evening, Michelle. Bye.
Bye.